Legend of the Seven Stars.
Can I stop doing this yet?
No, keep going.
God damn it. Jetman!
Chrono Trigger.
Alright, I'm John.
And I'm Robert.
And we're the Retro Rangers. And we're doing another episode. Isn't that awesome?
Oh my god.
Big American Party. Alright, so this was the episode.
We just call this Terror at Sweetwater. Can we just leave it at that?
Terror at Sweetwater.
Yeah.
Okay, kids.
So,
life lessons today. We're already doing that.
Alright, so anyway. We started off today. We met over here. Then we went over and got breakfast over at Bojangles.
We got Bohel right off the bat.
Bohel?
Bohel. That's what Captain called it when he worked there.
Well, it doesn't work because we don't work there. And it's still delicious.
It was really good. Are you will sponsor us now?
A couple of days prior, I had noticed 2 brand new thrift stores over just kind of off the beaten path, really. Really wasn't much.
No,
secondhand shops. The one lady had a Call of Duty Black Ops care package.
Which, as much as I hate Call of Duty, I hate to admit that was kind of cool. It was one of those little
it was really cool.
it
was missing the robotic, or it was missing something.
No, it was missing the game and all that.
Oh, okay.
But there he.
Really?
Really? I mean, come on.
I want the care package. I don't want the game.
Yeah. And then they also had the really expensive version of the same thing. It was one of those flying, remote control flying things.
The camera mounters. Yeah.
Which I've always wanted a remote control airplane since I was a kid. So, I mean, it's not exactly a remote control airplane, but it's close enough for my own.
So, but yeah, that was a big bust. And then we went, got gas, and we're just basically discussing where to go next. Because we didn't really have anything planned.
Well, we never do. We typically if we do, it never works out. So. And
we had both been hearing stuff about Sweetwater.
The big flea. It's the biggest flea market in the world.
Which I disagree with.
Yeah.
So we decided to go up to Sweetwater.
It's about an hour. It was
hour drive, and there was plenty of casual conversation. And that was my big concern, was I don't want to get to a point where we're literally having to wait for us to film shit.
Yeah, that's one. It's like I'm taking money that I shouldn't to go do this so we can film an episode. We're doing it for you people, even though you people don't really exist. Well,
yeah,
you do kind of.
Hey, there's 37 views on the first episode.
37? It's not 37 dicks in a row. You're probably sucking dick on your way through the parking lot. Hey, you get back here. You still won Best Director.
I did win Best Director.
Who gives a fuck? You won Best Director. So is it an audience vote?
It was an audience vote.
Oh, that's cool. That helps. Honestly, that means more than any panel, in my opinion. It's an audience vote, you know?
Yeah, well, the only reason the audience vote actually means something for me winning that award is because it's an audience that's not my audience. They don't know me.
Exactly. It's not an audience of people y'all know.
Yeah, I mean, I know a bunch of them, and you know, quite a few people, you know, were willing to talk to me afterwards, and they're like, oh, that was yours. But the thing that got me about it was, you know, usually when it's an audience vote, it's whoever brings the most of their friends.
Right. But it wasn't that situation.
No, I was literally in an area where the guy that got 90% of the awards was the guy everyone knew.
Right.
And so they knew he did all this stuff. And so here I am, sitting there listening to him win these awards, and I'm just going, this is exactly what I expected to happen. Yeah. It's his audience, it's his hometown, it's his people.
Right.
Best Director, my name. Well, shit. I see cards. They're set up like Epicos.
Right across the aisle is the movie booth with your latest DVDs, including Children, Family, and Action.
Oh my god, it goes that way.
Yeah, that's all your entertainment needs. That's booth 225 through 235, located on the front aisle just up past our
So anyway, we get in there, we start working down our way down the aisle, and we see it. It's this little pocket, there's games. I turn the corner, and it's this game store, and he's got tons of stuff.
Tons of great stuff,
and we're
There's a reason he has tons of great stuff.
Well, we're getting there. We thought we'd hit the jackpot initially.
Oh, it's like maybe this you know what, don't know what he's got. Maybe.
And and before we even started looking, I asked him if we could film. In a very douchebaggy way. He thinks about it for a second. He's like, no, I'd rather you not.
Alright, no big deal.
So, okay. So I flip the camera off, and then I turn to the case immediately to my right.
And I'm already looking, by the way.
And at that point, we know why he said no.
Yeah.
And what he was wanting for Earthbound,
What did he want for Earthbound? I didn't see it.
$285.
Oh, God.
Yeah. eBay for just a loose copy is typically
About 150 to 100.
No, it's about 200, 250. He was like $30 above eBay price.
He's probably hoping people around here are stupid.
I
mean, he wanted $60 for a Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past.
I know.
A $20 game everywhere else. And then tried to sell it off as if that was the only copy you're going to find.
Ever in your life.
And it was the greatest hits copy. It was the greatest hits copy.
It was like your mother had shed that out of her womb. And that was the only... It was a limited edition greatest hits. Limited edition copy, mind you.
Yes.
And it was the Unholy Matron or something.
I mean, this guy's prices were all over the place. What was it? $40, $50 for Breath of Fire, which later on in the same day I ended up getting for what, $15? Well, people will buy from him only because I suspect he buys out everyone else at the flea market except for the other game store that was at the flea market, which was just as badly priced, but they were a lot more friendly.
At least. And the thing is, they probably went to his booth to look at prices. They were like maybe $2 or $3 cheaper.
Or they priced them up so that he wouldn't buy them. What you want to bet? They're priced more to compete with him.
Yeah.
Because they were right around the same price, a little higher, a little lower. Yeah. They wanted less for Tekken 4, but... I mean, it was a big place. There was plenty of stuff up there, just no games. The only two game stores were the two game stores, and
they were both
overpriced. And the only other thing that was up there game-wise was some loose Xbox games and stuff like that. And
I felt like a rape victim after going in there.
And then came the long, awful drive back.
Right, I feel like if I was to buy something from them, unless they're just really, really off the mark, unless they're just, you know, fucking around and jerking off and not realizing what's going on, I don't want to do that because, I don't know, I just don't want to keep those suckers in business for that shit. $85 for a Super Nintendo. Come on, man.
$85 for a PS2. Yeah. So, we decided since we were passing through Hickson on the way home, we'd stop by there. Someone had told me that there was a pretty big Goodwill up there.
Oh,
and
yeah, the Goodwill. Oof.
Get ready for the rent, kids, because it's coming. Goodwill in Hickson, Tennessee.
They've almost all got desk covers, too.
What's that one at the back? Excuse me. Do you know how much these are?
They're all different prices.
Oh, they are? No.
I think the cheapest I found it online was like $35.
A Goodwill! Yeah, it's not Aliens, but it's Aliens.
So,
A Goodwill that has, yeah, it's not Aliens, but it's Aliens. A Goodwill that has, yeah, it's not Aliens, but it's Aliens. A Goodwill that has, yeah, it's not Aliens, but it's Aliens. A Goodwill that has, yeah, it's not Aliens, but it's Aliens. A Goodwill that has, yeah, it's not Aliens, but it's Aliens. A Goodwill that has, yeah, it's not Aliens, but it's Aliens. A Goodwill that has, yeah, it's not Aliens, but it's Aliens. A Goodwill that has, yeah, it's not Aliens, but it's Aliens. A Goodwill that has, yeah, it's not Aliens, but it's Aliens. A Goodwill that has, yeah, it's not Aliens, but it's Aliens. A Goodwill that has, yeah, it's not Aliens, but it's Aliens. A Goodwill that has, yeah, it's not Aliens, but it's Aliens. A Goodwill that has, yeah, it's not Aliens, but it's Aliens. A Goodwill that has, yeah, it's not Aliens, but it's Aliens. A Goodwill that has, yeah, it's not Aliens, but it's Aliens. A Goodwill that a Goodwill that has
a decent selection of games.
It wasn't great, but it was for a
But
Goodwill.
they had a Mario Kart 64.
And the guy behind the counter at the Goodwill, I guess he was the owner or whatever, the manager.
I don't know.
He said he looked it up on eBay. There's the first problem there, kids, yet again.
Yep.
He wanted $25 for it. It's a Goodwill. It's a donation. He's not playing by the fucking rules. There's no Goodwill in that place.
And so, the second point of defeat, and we were like, you know what? We're right over next to the Hickson Mall, Northgate Mall.
Go see,
we got our good friend over there, Blast Tech Machine Shop, Game Galaxy, whatever you want to call it.
Whatever it's sex shop or whatever he's going
yeah, because he does he
says
go
he
watch
does,
it. Go watch episode 2.
He says he doesn't say sex shop. It sounds like he says
sex shop,
which we always give him a hard time about when we go in there because it's cool. But
pretty standard fare there. Ratatouille for Game Boy Advance, kind of a hard one to get a hold of.
Really?
Bart and the Beanstalk for Game Boy.
That's one I've never heard of.
Quite a hard one to get a hold of.
Well, it's $14 for a GB title.
Yeah. So you just spent the whole entire amount for today, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, I thought so.
Come back with me. Where?
All right, John. We finally had a productive run today.
Spirit fingers.
Yep. We ended up going back to Game Galaxy again, or Blast Tech Machine, whatever he wants to
call it.
Yeah.
It's two different things in one. I got a power adapter for that Atari I picked up a few weeks ago when we weren't shooting, sadly. And I got for $20. And hopefully it will work now. Hooray. And let's see what Robert got, because that's the real winner here.
Yes, well, I was the one that came out this weekend with, the decent money. So I'm going to go ahead. I got me a fairly good copy of Dragon Warrior 2 for the NES.
Da-da-da.
And this just complements my collection that was added to by John for a Christmas present.
You got 2 versions of Dragon Warrior 2 now.
Yep. I got UN Squadron. It's a game that I wanted.
That's a fun fucking game.
It was on my list for games to want. He had it reasonable. I got Breath of Fire, and a little bit more than I was hoping to pay, but it's a hell of a lot better than the $40 the dude in Sweetwater was asking for.
Yeah.
And besides, it's an RPG that... Is it this one that has the Kimmy? Or not Kimmy, Chun-Li.
I've never played any Breath of Fire, so...
And then just because I don't have it, got me a GoldenEye.
Yeah.
And a replacement copy. And I'll have to replace the DVD stuff on this, but...
Still.
Of 10, because my original non-greatest hits version of 10 got crushed. So, the ability to have one that's not a red label is good.
The Sweetwater was contaminated by
I'm sorry. I mean, like, I dug through... I mean, I stayed in there longer than you did. Because I was trying...
My stomach just curved.
I was trying to catch him on something. The Goodwill. I looked it up on eBay. Oh, God. Oh, God. Why?
I just want a hammer or a bat or something. Anytime that a retailer or a guy who's selling games or Gandhi says, I looked it up on eBay, I just want to beat him.
That was our adventure during that week, and as always, you can find me on Twitter at SURLLIO or Serlio, and
Rick Hunter 101 on Twitter, and we also have an email which will also appear at the bottom of the screen.
But it's gamingretrorangers@gmail.com. As always, like, favorite, subscribe,
and join the Retro Rangers today, because
yes,
you should do that.
And hey, we have better stuff coming in the future. Yard sales were shutting down.
Yard sales are a joke for us anyway, typically.
It seems to be, but doesn't stop to hurt.
Doesn't hurt to try.
I said that completely wrong.
Hey, at least it wasn't me for a change.
Hey!